Let's take a look at the early movers in Seoul with Jim.
Thank you, Kari. In the Korean markets, it's all about the Korean won. We're seeing minimal moves with the equity index. So we are seeing the won in the focus, both against the dollar and the yen. The Korean won is at a new 9-month low against the US dollar, and the won-yen rate is also at a 6-year high. So we're seeing the dollar won opening a little weaker against the dollar today, and the yen actually opening also weaker against the won this morning. On the Korean index, on the Kospi, we are seeing airlines moving after Asiana reported net profit for the third quarter down 84% year-on-year at 13 billion won. In the third quarter, sales were up 0.3% and operating profit was up 4% as well. But again, the FX rates during the third quarter did bring its net profit down. It is opening higher, 2.5% at the open. Korean Airlines also up 1.2% at the open. Also, we are seeing GS Holdings moving according to their earnings release also coming out after market close yesterday. Operating profit down 91% year-on-year. Revenues at 2.7 trillion won, up 7%. Also, retailers today, we are seeing GS Retail operating profit down 8%. So continued weakness in this space, 3 straight quarters of operating profit coming in lower year-on-year. But again, revenues are showing an increase of 5% at 1.3 trillion won. Shinsegae is trading higher 0.8%, and Hyundai and Lotte Haimart both up about 0.3%. Lotte Shopping down 0.33%. Going back to Samsung SDS's IPO, which is coming up next Friday, it is expected to be now the second biggest IPO on the Kospi ever, and analysts are expecting the stock to trade at about 350,000 to 500,000 won after it opens at its offer price of 190,000 won. Good morning, Kari. Today in the Korean markets, I'm watching the steel makers. The U.S. International Trade Commission says it will be issuing anti-dumping duties on electrical steel products imports from 6 countries, including Korea. The ITC has finalized a 6.89% duty on Korean steel products. And the ITC is saying that the U.S. steel industry is affected by steel imports from China, Germany, Japan, Korea, Sweden, and Taiwan. So I'll be watching steel makers on the Kospi at the open today. And also, I'm watching Samsung Group shares today as well, with the Samsung SDS IPO coming up next Friday. Has been oversubscribed 134 times by retail investors. The order book was closed yesterday. About 15.5 trillion won in subscription deposits were accepted yesterday. Also, I'll be watching the Korean won as well, which is at a 9-month low against the US dollar, affecting exporters, autos. So I'll be watching these names at the open. So that was your preview of the Korean markets, and we'll bring you the opening numbers for Seoul and Tokyo when Squawk Box returns. Stay with us.